Morning everybody, welcome to Transwest. My name is Peter C. We're here in Fredrick, Colorado, and today we're going to be looking at a 2025 Winnebago EKKO 22A. So the 22A is built on the Ford Transit all-wheel drive chassis, has a 3.5 liter V6 EcoBoost engine, 10-speed automatic transmission. All of your tires are going to be all-terrain tires, and again, this is all-wheel drive. This has a 5,000 pound towing capacity. First off, we'll take a look at some of the exterior storage and then we'll head inside. So coming around the side here, you can see this is going to be where our battery is stored. So this is a lithionics battery. Typically this would be one 320 amp hour lithionic battery, but this one was actually optioned with the generator delete option, which gives you a double lithium package. So instead of a single 320 amp hour lithium battery, you have a 630 amp hour lithium battery. And this is the Lithionics battery system. So there's a QR code on there you can actually scan and download an app to your phone that your phone can essentially, you can monitor the battery health, any kind of troubleshooting that needs to be done from your phone on the Lithionics app. So pretty cool battery system. This compartment right here is generally where your generator would be. Usually you would have a 2,800 watt gas generator that would pull off your 31 gallon fuel tank. But because this is the generator delete, you just gain an extra storage space there. Right up above here, we're gonna have our cassette toilet. So this is just a little suitcase. This substitutes for your black tank. So this is where your toilet drains to. All you have to do is take this out, take it to any dump station, porta potty, rest stop, and just dump it. Real easy, just slide it back in there. No mess, don't have to really touch much. Back here is going to be our wet bay. So your winterization valves, you'll have a hot and cold water hookup right here. So if you want to take a outdoor shower, this will be your gravity fill. And there's a little porch light right here as well. So if you have to get out here and work in your wet bay in the middle of the night, you have plenty of light to be able to do that. Down below, this is your 30 amp shore power cord. And then this is your little solar expansion port if you were going to add more solar to this. This one does have 220 watts of rooftop solar. Now normally this, the 22A would have 450 watts, but because this is a pop top, that pop top removes a lot of your space on the roof, so it's reduced from 420 to 220. You get a flexible surface solar panel instead. So back here is gonna be kind of what makes an EKKO an EKKO. This is the gear garage. So in total, the EKKO has 65.3 cubic feet of exterior storage space, and a lot of that is back here in this gear garage. Now, this gear garage is fully insulated and it's heated as well. There's actually a heat duct that comes back here, so no worries about anything freezing. You'll have two little dome lights back here as well as a 110 hookup. So if you want to put e-bikes back here, you can plug them in and keep them charged. You can fit two bicycles back here side by side, provided that you take the front tire off. On both your doors, you're going to have what are called MOLLE panels. So these are really good for hooking any miscellaneous gear to, you know, maybe bike helmets, ropes, anything you need for your adventures. You just clip a carabiner on here and you can get it sat right there on the door so it's not flopping around in the back. One thing really neat about all these doors is, you know, Jody, if you can see how thick these doors are, all these doors are almost 2 inches thick. They're extremely well insulated, which is kind of what makes the EKKO a Four Seasons camper. You can use this throughout the winter. Up above right now, you'll see we have the batwing awning fully extended. So this is another really nice option just to create some more shade when you're at the campground or to keep you out of the rain. If you're back here and you need to work in your wet bay or you need to get into your garage and it's raining, you're gonna be protected from the rain or whatever weather's going on under this, or the 100-degree sun like it's been here in Colorado lately. So in the back, this is going to be our other door to access the gear garage. This one's actually on gas struts, so it'll hold itself up, but just kind of offers you another option of ways to be able to load this in here. And a nice thing about this door as well is if you do not have the bat awning out, again, this is going to protect you from the rain. If you need to stand under here and get into your gear garage and it's raining, it's going to keep some of that rain off you. Up above, you can see our backup camera right there. And then this will be the other side door for the gear garage. So plenty of room to be able to pass anything through here that you need to. In here is going to be our propane tanks. Now, another really cool thing about the EKKO, most Class Cs, you have to go to a truck stop or a campground and have them put a hose in it to fill up your propane tanks. With the EKKO, you have interchangeable propane tanks, just like you would use with a grill at home. So you can go swap these out at Home Depot, Walmart, pretty much anywhere along the road. Or you can also get additional tanks as well. So if you want to bring 2 tanks with you on the road and throw them in the gear garage, then you have plenty of propane. You don't have to worry about running out. Another thing to point out with this, because I've had some customers ask before, this is not in any way vented to the cab. So this is all completely solid above here. The only air that comes out is down below it. So a lot of people are worried with propane on board, any possible chance that it's going to leak into the cab. Nothing you need to worry about with this. Again, nothing is vented back to the cab with your propane tank. This is going to be your Truma AquaGo system. So this is your continuous hot water heater. And then down below here, you just have a little hookup for your propane. So what that allows you to do is if you want to bring a grill, kind of set up a little outdoor kitchen, you can just plug it into that. That'll pull off your propane tanks and you can, run a grill or whatever you want to bring with you. Out here, it's going to be 2 110 hookups. So you could plug in an induction cooktop or something outside, again, if you want to do kind of an outdoor cook station. And then this is going to be your last storage bay. Now up in the back corner, there is another water hookup here. So maybe right next to the door here, if you're traveling with dogs or anything, it's a good spot to kind of wash your dogs off before you let them run in the van and get it all dirty. One neat thing about this compartment is this can actually be optioned with an outdoor kitchen. So because this has a pop top, due to weight restrictions, this cannot have the outdoor kitchen. But if you were to get an EKKO without a pop top, you can do an outdoor kitchen in this. What that is, it's a Dometic refrigerator freezer on slides that will slide out, and then there's a gas propane stove on top of it with a little sink that'll fold out as well.
Peter, we do have a quick question. Are you okay to answer?
Yeah.
Repeat the question. The question is, what is the fuel capacity and what is the miles per gallon?
Fuel capacity for this one's 31 gallons. As far as miles per gallon, that's going to kind of vary a lot depending on your conditions, but most people seem to say around 12 to 15.
Perfect.
All right. Now, before we head inside, take a look at this door real quick, because again, if you're traveling with pets, this is actually a really nice feature, this little camp door, because instead of having mesh on here, they actually did is this little chain link. So if you leave your dog in the van while you go out for a hike or whatever, you want to leave the door open so they're getting airflow, you don't have to worry about them scratching their way through the mesh because this is very, very durable. But that can lock from the inside as well. And then again, another really, really thick door. You can hear when this thing shuts just how solid it is. And your automatic step as well. So we'll head on inside. So we'll start up in the front. Again, this is the Ford Transit cab. Only real things to mention about this, you do have blind spot monitoring, adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, and this big navigation screen on there. So that's where your backup camera is going to populate, is on that nav. Both of these front chairs are 360 swivels, so they'll swivel completely around. Now, in the Transit chassis, you sit a little lower than in the Mercedes. So they give you these little booster seats just to kind of not have your knees up in your chest. So you can see with this little swivel table right here, I'm about 6 foot. If I'm sitting here, very comfortable. I don't have my knees up in my face. And you have a little workstation here, or eat, whatever you want to do. This table is detachable. You just take out this little bike clip right here and pick the whole thing up. And it's also an adjustable height as well. So we just slide that pole up and down, and we can adjust this table to any height that we need to. Up above in the cab, you have just some little options for storage. Any knickknacks you want to throw up there. Every little bit of space when you're traveling in an RV helps. You'll also notice these clips all the way around the cab. So in the back compartment, there is an insulated cover that goes all the way around this. It clips into all these and it is fitted to this cab. So just another way to prevent any kind of heat loss or cold loss. The more you can insulate these things in extreme weather, the better you're gonna do. Up above, you'll see our entertainment system here with the sound bar. And then we have two pretty deep storage compartments on either side of this. And then in that one, there's gonna be a 110 hookup and a cable hookup, and also an HDMI hookup that goes to the TV. So you could even travel with a PlayStation if you wanted to and throw it in there. Up here, just more 110 hookups. This will be your light switch for up above right there. And then your cigarette outlets, USB hookups here. On this side, we're gonna have our two jump seats. These are not extendable. That's the way they stay. They don't recline, but these are 3-point harnesses. And then we do have a table here as well. When you wanna take down this table, all you do, pick it up, drop it back down. And then up above, we have one big storage compartment here. So this one is extremely sturdy because you have this steel brace in here. So according to Winnebago, I believe they say this compartment can store up to 100 pounds. So very, very durable with this steel brace. You don't have to worry about overloading it at all, especially because there's no supports underneath. Up underneath, we have little dome lights. So you'll see a few of these throughout here. They're on their own little kind of circuit. So you just press them. They're not on a switch or anything else. In the back, you can see we have the windows completely open here. These are really, really cool windows on the EKKO. So these are all double pane acrylic windows, so they're extremely well insulated, and they open in 3 stages. You can see 1, 2, and 3, and then they'll close all the way back down. You also have a little midway point you can open them to where they're locked, but they're still venting. So you see this little intermediate lock right there. We still have a vent under here to let airflow in here, but you're not gonna get any water or anything in here. The shades throughout this EKKO is really neat as well. So you have 2 stages, these are called cassette shades. So that is kind of your bug screen, your day shade. So if you want to leave your window wide open, pull that down. It's going to keep all the bugs out of here. And when you pick that up, that's your night shade. So every one of the windows throughout this coach, except for the front cab, will have this exact window design. Double pane acrylic windows, 3-stage opening, day and night shades. So we'll head back towards the kitchen. So a difference between this and the Mercedes. The Mercedes is going to have a single induction cooktop. This has a 2-burner propane stove instead. And then you have a little splash guard in the back so it prevents any grease or anything from splashing on your window. We have a nice little stainless steel sink here with a hose. Again, same window behind it. So if you're sitting here in the kitchen, you know, let all the smells of cooking out, get plenty of fresh air in here while you're cooking. One storage compartment up above. Again, these have these nice little felt liners in here, so it prevents anything you put in there from getting scratched. And a 110 hookup up here. So if you're the kind of person that travels with a, you know, coffee maker or something on the road, you know, what I would do is just throw your coffee maker up here, plug it in, and you could leave it here permanently. You have a microwave. This is a standard microwave, not a convection microwave. You have to go to the 23B, which is the Sprinter EKKO, to get a convection microwave. Down below, we're gonna have another 110 hookup right here, and then just some small storage drawers. And a little bit of space under the sink as well. So put all your pots and pans in there. And real quick before I forget, we'll go over this panel in the galley. So this is just going to be your solar charge controller. Nothing too much you need to worry about there. It's just going to display your battery condition. This is the inverter controller, and this is the only one you really need to mess with too much. So this will display your chassis and house battery voltage. This one's going to be your tank capacities, so you can see the fresh and the gray. You can see we're actually full of fresh water. And then just your water pump. You can turn it off and on your water pump from here. So we'll head a little farther back. We have one more cabinet right here in the kitchen. These are fully adjustable shelves, so you can pull these out and adjust them to any heights you want to accommodate, you know, whatever kind of stuff you want to put in there. Or taller things, you could take both of these out entirely and you could fit nice tall things in there. So next we'll head into the bathroom. So the EKKO has one of the coolest bathrooms. This is sort of a wet bath, but not really. So it's a wet bath in the sense everything is contained into one, but once you see the way it converts, you'll understand why I say it's not really a wet bath. So this is set up with the toilet and the sink out, but all you have to do is grab this wall, move this over, and it'll clip up here at the top, and now we have the shower. So this curtain will pull all the way around on this track right here to keep all your kind of water in there. But now, you know, you're in your shower. So it is a wet bath, but to me, this is one of the coolest kind of wet baths I've seen in a Class C. And then last thing, I forgot to show you in the kitchen, our refrigerator. So small refrigerator, you have a nice vegetable fruit drawer down below, and then a little freezer up top. I think this is taped shut somewhere. Oh, never mind. So plenty to fit, you know, pints of ice cream or meats or anything in the freezer. And this is a 12-volt refrigerator. All right, so heading back into the bedroom, we have 2 storage compartments on either side. So you'll see there's actually a curtain rod up at the top, so this will work for hanging storage. Right now we have this insulated curtain I was talking about in there, as well as a little pillow. Same thing on the other side here. You'll have that hanging storage up above. And then drawers on either side. So if you're traveling as a couple, you kind of each get your own space. And the other thing that's really neat about these is that both of these beds will lift completely up and allow you to top load everything in here as well. And on this side specifically, you have kind of a little secret storage compartment back there. So if you didn't know that this bed lifted, you'd never know that was there. So kind of a good spot just for any valuables you travel with, you know, maybe passports, jewelry, anything that you don't want anyone to be able to see. Under each one of these mattresses is going to be what's called our Frawley system. So this kind of replaces springs, sort of acts the same as springs, so just provides you a little bit more cushion on the mattresses. So this bed is a twin bed configuration, but it will convert to a king bed. So right now this is set up as sort of a nightstand. You can see on the top of this is hard plastic, and you have 2 cup holders here. So if you want to sit back here and eat, you know, you have a nice table to set your drink, set your food. You know, it's not a cushion, so it's not going to fall off. But if you want to convert this to the king bed, all you're going to do is flip this over. Oh, looks like our cover's coming off here. So just flip this over, stuff it right down the middle there. And you can see, actually, it's a good time to show you, all of these are removable from the mattress as well. So you can take these out and throw them in the washer and wash them if it gets dirty. So moving a little farther back into the bedroom, we have 2 overhead storage compartments in here. And then you'll have these little night lights. So both of these have a blue light and a daylight. So blue light's really nice if you know, you're the kind of person that wants to read a book while your partner's trying to go to sleep. You just turn those little blue lights on so you're not distracting them too much. And then up above, again, cigarette outlet, USB outlet, our 2 110s. And there's actually a little pop through here where you can drop your cords down. So if you want to plug in your phone, you know, just drop the cord down here to leave your phone on your nightstand, you can do that. Up above is going to be the intake for our AC. So this is a 13.5K BTU AC, and this is all ducted, which is really nice because it allows you to, you know, close and open vents where you want to. So you'll notice throughout the coach, I believe there's 5 vents. There's 1 in the bedroom and then 4 more up in the front. So you can close them, open them as you need. If you want to close all the front ones and just leave your rear one open, it'll focus all that air back here when you're sleeping at night. Now normally the AC would be mounted more towards the middle, but because this one has a pop top, your AC and your exhaust fan vent move to the back above your beds. And then up there on that back wall, you'll notice we have 2 more 110 hookups as well as a cable hookup. So this wall right here, we can actually put a TV in. So you can mount a TV in that wall, plug it into cable, whatever you need to do. All right. And then last thing in the bedroom, we do have a privacy curtain right here. So stretch this across, you know, just offers you a little more privacy. When you pair that with the 2 windows that completely black out back here, is a really, really comfortable place to sleep. Last thing we'll go over is going to be our controls here on this wall. So this is going to be your Truma system. So this will control your coach heating and your hot water. So this runs off of your propane. And then down below, this will control your AC. So right now, it's going to be in cool, and we'll turn it off. So temperature, fan speed selection, and there's only one mode, which is cool. And down below, these are just your light switches. All right, and then last thing we forgot to show you, what makes this one really special, is the pop top. So I'll just have Jody kind of give you a little sneak peek of what's up there. You have 3 curtains, or not really curtains, but they completely zip up or down. So you can get all the airflow you want up there or all the privacy you want. And you'll see that ladder that was up there. So that ladder will actually clip in right here. So you'll have the ladder come down and sit right below these jump seats. So it's a little steep to be able to climb, but perfectly fine for kids. I brought a lot of kids in these for shows with their parents, and you would not believe how excited kids get to climb up in those pop tops. It's amazing for them. So if you have kids, it's a really great option, or 2 adults can fit up there very comfortably as well. Probably hard to get a sense of scale from the camera, but it's probably, I would say, comparable to a queen bed up there, maybe even a little bigger. So very, very spacious. You could sleep at least 4 people in this floor plan very comfortably. But that's gonna wrap it up. Actually, let's go over the dimensions real quick before I forget. So 23 feet long, 10 feet 8 inches high, 7 feet and 2.5 inches wide. This has a 158-inch wheelbase. As far as your capacities, you have 50 gallons of fresh water, 40 gallons of gray water, 31 gallons of gas, again, your fuel, and then your black tank is just gonna be that 5-gallon cassette toilet. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for us today. Thanks for watching our video. All my information is right here. Again, my name is Peter C. My phone number is 719-799-8357. If you have any questions about this floor plan, or you just want any more information about the EKKO, feel free to call, text, email me, whatever works for you. Thanks for watching.